So this question is about ethics 301. So this is the akhlaq, the extended akhlaq course.
Yes.
That's still running until now. So it says, I'm having more issues with the concept of malaka. In lesson 6, there is a quote which implies that we only take a well-established malaka with us after death.
Mm-hmm.
It seems unfair from the way I understood this idea.
Yes.
Because even those qualities which are not well rooted or the effects of repeated actions still belong to or have an effect on our soul. Why can it not be that we take our entire soul with us, with whatever degrees of qualities are present there and whatever effects, even if minor, our struggles to attain those virtues created? And then there are 2 follow-up questions, but I don't know if I should ask all of them and then you decide which parts to answer, or maybe we stop here.
If it is not, is it related to this or different?
So it says, is our soul separate from our actions that are عند Allah? I think it's different.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very good question. Our actions, even our intentions, even our thoughts are all taken into account. We didn't say that nothing counts except malaka. No. Even if you have had one generous act, you helped a needy person sincerely, even once, that is counted. من يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره. So there is no doubt about this. So if you do it once or repeat it few times, but still it's not malaka, still it counts. Even intention can count, especially good intention. But when it comes to qualities, and we said qualities are actually more important than actions, you would not be considered as a generous person on top of having generous acts, just because you have attempted few times to be generous. So suppose you have had 10 generous acts. Okay. That is taken into account, and man ja'a bil hasana falahu ashru amsala. Even that 10 is rewarded as 100. But still you are not rewarded as a generous person. And you remember we said that the reward or punishment for good qualities or bad qualities is more than good actions or bad actions. We had it also here in 40 hadith, and I referred to 40 hadith, I think, at Akhlaq series also. So I hope it is clear what we mean. There are 2 issues. The action which is already produced, that is certainly taken into account. Then the quality which is not yet formed. Okay, so you will not be considered as someone who has formed it, unless you are a person who is working hard to develop a quality, but your life was not enough to complete it. Here maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would grow that quality for you if you have really worked hard. One of the things that happen in Barzakh is completion. Your growth in dunya would be completed. But if you were under guardianship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a very beautiful concept. If Allah is your wali, then limited time of dunya cannot limit him. If he is your wali, even in barzakh, he can grow you. But if we are not under his wilaya in dunya, of course, when you have not achieved something, you have not achieved it. Thank you very much. It was a very good question.
Quick question, number 2 maybe, and then
Yes.
depending on your time. Is our soul separate from our actions that are in Allah? When we see them, do we see ourselves or something separate from ourselves?
It's not separate, but it's not that necessarily they are to be seen together. Because, for example, if you want to see your action, maybe that action takes a kind of reality. Maybe your salat appears as a reality, as a being. Of course, people would realize whose salat is this, but it can have kind of identity. So I can say, in a sense, it's independent, and in a sense is dependent. Like your book, for example. Your book can be seen as dependent on you and as independent from you, depending on what approach you have.
And the last part of the same question, I know we are running out of time, but so that we complete this question,
Yes.
What are the differences between our view and Aristotelian ethics of virtue?
It's very close. We appreciate lots of good points in virtue ethics, but you can have different versions of virtue ethics. If those who believe in virtue ethics underestimate actions unless they originate from virtues or lead to forming virtues, then this is not adequate. We have to give attention to actions anyway. But if they originate from corresponding virtue or help in forming corresponding virtue, they become more important. So for us, actions are very important, virtues are very important. Virtues are relatively, most of the time, more important than actions, but still we have to completely consider both. Not equally, but completely we have to consider both.
Jazakum Allah khair, Sheikh.
Allah
I think this is enough of Q&A for today. It's 4 p.m. I think 9 p.m. at your